What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Dev, man, and I'm back with another reaction, man. This reaction is real prison escapes caught on camera, and y'all should be proud of me because I'm doing this straight off work. I left work at 6:30 a.m. It is 7. So y'all think I don't think I'm counting. 7:37, bro. Still got the same work clothes I got on, man. You know the grind don't stop. We chasing this bag. But what I need y'all to do is like the video. We need this video on the recommendeds. Comment on what videos you want me to react to. And subscribe, man, so the family can get bigger. But you know, y'all know the saying. Grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, grab your drink, grab your smoke, grab your fam, grab your chick, grab your dude, and let's vibe out, man. So let's get to this video.
Ever since their inception. In most cases, prison breaks fail, but this isn't always the case. Escapes don't only happen in the movies, as they actually happen much more often than you'd like to think in the real world. It's human nature to seek freedom, and it's going to be very clear the lengths some people will take to relish that sweet taste of fresh air. Luckily for us, most fail, but those very few truly committed criminals who are willing to risk it for the biscuit sometimes succeed spectacularly. Ready to meet the guys that escaped and lived to tell the tale? Let's get it on. Under the radar. Sometimes you just have to wing it. No pre-planning, thought process, or careful consideration. If you see an opening, you take it. 2 inmates were on garage duty outside the high fences of the prison. All it took was a fleeting glance towards each other, a little nod, and they were off. They bolted out of the prison ground.
Oh no. Where is it free? Like this area right here is not gated? Let's run that back so we can see where the fuck they going to. Look like they taking the trash out.
You take it. 2 inmates were on garage duty outside the high fences of the prison. All it took was a fleeting glance towards each other, a little nod, and they were off. They bolted out of the prison grounds as fast as they could, leaving the supervising guard staring after them in disbelief as he called in the escape on his radio. Once the coast was clear, the pair split up.
He wasn't gonna run out there. He was like, man, I'm out of shape. I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna call this shit in. He already knew it.
To go their separate ways, every man for himself. They were apprehended a few days later in a nearby barn and
a couple days? I guess that's good though. A couple days on the run.
Apartment complex. How these guys flew under the radar and convinced the guards to let them outside without restraints is anyone's guess. Over the fence. Some criminals would move heaven and earth in order to be free from the prison walls. Others would just simply move part of the wall. These 2 inmates removed a couple of cinder blocks and squeezed through the openings before throwing a blanket over a 25-foot high razor wire fence and fleeing.
They had to stroke that out.
Into the woods. The holes in the wall were covered by posters, and they even made dummies out of pillows and blankets in their beds. Into the woods. The whole
I got this shit
be free from the prison walls. Others would just simply move part of the wall. These 2 inmates removed a couple of cinder blocks.
Damn, that jail gotta be old as hell if you gotta remove cinder blocks. You can just go straight through. Man.
And squeeze through the openings before throwing a blanket over a 25-foot high razor wire fence and fleeing into the woods. The holes in the wall were covered by posters, and they even made dummies out of pillows and blankets in their beds.
They planned that shit out. That was actually freaking smart.
Beds to buy them valuable time. After all that work, they were caught when a local resident saw tracks in the mud at a nearby creek and
man, somebody always snitching, man. Somebody always let that man be free. Man, if that was I would footprints, go on about your damn business.
Alerted the authorities. If you're thinking of breaking out of jail, it'd probably be best if you didn't follow in the footsteps of these crooks.
And threw a blanket over the razor wire before running across the roof to a temporary freedom.
Think fast, act fast. When at first you don't succeed, try and try again. After a few failed attempts over the course of a day, this jailbird decided to bide his time and wait for his moment. When one presented itself, he had to think fast and act fast. As the police moved away from the patrol car to process his transfer, this guy saw an opening as the garage door was closing. He sprinted out of the tiny opening with the best display of speed limbo you've ever seen in your life. As the roller door closed behind him, it took the cops valuable minutes to get outside, and by this stage, he was long gone.
gotta
He
see if
covered
was
so
he
much
in the
ground
car?
that speed limbo door was. As the police moved away from the patrol car to process his transfer, this guy saw an opening as the garage door was closing. He sprinted out of the tiny opening with the best display of speed limbo you've ever seen in your life. As the roller door closed behind him, it took the cops valuable minutes to get outside, and by this stage, he was long gone. He covered so much ground that not even a 2-hour sniffer dog search could find him. He was arrested the next day, and you could say his luck had run out. Pun very much intended.
He got it. You gotta give him his props. He got it. He timed that door. Any full sprinter, he Usain Bolted on their ass. Hey, look, they got a trap right here.
Slow and controlled. When you're not a criminal mastermind, you have to play to your strengths. Being a silver-tongued Casanova has its perks, especially if the guard making eyes at you just happens to be holding the keys to the only barrier between you and freedom. These guys calmly opened the gate and casually strolled out of the jail with no urgency at all, without a care in the world. There aren't many scenarios where a prison guard and an escaped con can live happily ever after. She's seen running her hands through her hair and looking totally stressed out, rethinking her life choice.
Oh, they finessed her? The inmates finessed the little prison guard lady. So the lady gave them the key. He was slanging her down in jail. That's all it was. That's all it was.
Choices. The following day, she's arrested.
Oh yeah. She one of those. I just want to be loved. Yep. That was slanging her ass, yep.
And the 3 guys on the run are apprehended 5 days later after a tense siege with police. Stick to what you're good at, guys. Breaking hearts, not breaking out of jail.
A camera in the alley outside captured the men dressed in all white.
You gotta salute them. He played his game, he did his little Romeo, smoothed her over, got the key, told his niggas come on. And they was on the run for 5 days. I can't do nothing but salute
casually
that.
walking away.
Van hit and
And the
run.
thing about it, look at these dudes, bro. They don't look at these dudes.
Apprehended
they just walking,
5 days
bro.
later after
They
a
ain't
tense
running,
siege
they
with
ain't
police.
jogging.
Stick to what you're good at, guys. Breaking hearts, not breaking out of jail.
A camera in the alley
Look,
outside.
they just strolling, bro. They like, we did what we had to do. Ain't even no time to rush. We got this.
Captured the
They
men dressed in
strolling.
all white, casually walking away.
Van hit and run. If something's too good to be true, it generally is. A group of prisoners were being escorted through the garage on their way back to their cells. One is seen lingering, and soon after walks behind a transport van out of sight, with the guards going ahead and not noticing he's missing. All that's left for him to do is open the door, turn the key that's so conveniently sitting in the ignition.
Yeah, these guards be dumb as hell. Look at that. Look how smooth this dude is, bro. Look how smooth this dude is, bro. He's standing in front of the vehicle like, all right, I'm ready. I'm waiting on them.
And soon after
They get everybody together. He just goes to the other side of the van.
walks behind a transport van out of sight.
Man, that nigga's so smooth.
Guards going ahead and not noticing he's missing. All that's left
dumb as hell.
for him to do is open the door, turn the key that's so conveniently sitting in the ignition.
The key's still in the ignition. I hope they was fired. The key's still in the ignition? What the hell?
And start the van. It's like the stars have aligned and the universe is almost begging him to take his chances for freedom.
real.
He floors the van, smashing through the garage door and is free and clear. Or so he thought. He crashed into some trees nearby and was
Hold on. It's a goddamn ad. I just wanted you to see the gore face. That's how dumb he is.
Who said being impatient was a bad thing? At Universal Technical
arrested. Most people still take his chances for freedom. He floors the van, smashing through
Look
the
at this
garage
dude
door
right
and
here.
is free and clear. Or so
Look at this. Look at your man's, bro.
he thought. He crashed
He knew he messed up. He like,
into some trees nearby and was arrested. Most people steal a car and then get sent to jail, not the other way around.
I wonder how far he got though. He did get respect.
Handcuffs. Even dumb criminals get lucky breaks eventually. After being arrested at a motel for theft, this woman found her way into a police holding cell. She was left alone with her phone to try to arrange bail money and a life home. She struggles to break free of the cuffs anchoring her to the wall in between checking text messages. Even though police say the cuffs were on its tightest setting, she was able to wriggle her dainty hands free. She took the keys off.
Bro, I know that stuff hurt. That shit digging to your skin. I didn't been in there. Oh, that stuff hurt, bro. It's like you just getting pinched real hard, bro. Like you getting down there stabbed. I can't do it. I know. I done seen sit on TV like motherfuckers break their thumb or their finger, man, to get the handcuff off, and they just slide that mug over. They just break the thumb. I can't do it.
Off a hook on the wall and use them to open an emergency exit to quietly slip out the back door while no one was watching.
But her case was nothing but petty theft. Why she
was busted an hour later when she returned to the same hotel where she was arrested that morning. Instantly recognized.
She need to be in jail. You telling me she went to the same spot? You telling me she went to the same spot? You telling me she went to the same spot? After she broke out of jail,
by the staff who worked there.
She on dope or something. Gotta be.
Bulldozer attack. Denmark is famous for Vikings and Lego bricks, but mass prison escapes? Not so much. 25 years ago, a TV film crew received an anonymous tip about a protest outside of a prison in Copenhagen and went there to document the event. What happened next was a bulldozer slamming into the brick wall of the jail and knocking it down, with prisoners running out of the hole like ants fleeing from their nest. They can be seen running down the street laughing and cheering, celebrating their newfound freedom. The film crew were arrested on suspicion of having prior knowledge of the escape and failing to notify police.
So the film crew, somebody on the film crew ran into the jail. If that ain't lucky, I don't
inmates
know what
escaped
is.
in total, some with lengthy jail terms for violent crimes and murder, with only 3 ever being caught.
Damn. They got away? Only 3 got caught? Ooh. Ooh.
Detailed instructions. Prisons are designed to keep inmates in, not to give them easy ways to get out. After all, the key to success is executing a carefully detailed plan. Typically, you would think that installing air vents large enough for a man to squeeze through close to the floor would be a bad idea in a prison, but this was exactly how this trio gained access into the plumbing shafts behind the wall. They used ropes made out of bed sheets and had a getaway van waiting with fresh clothes and a bottle of Jack Daniels for a celebratory drink. It only took 8 minutes for 3 inmates to complete their complex plan, ironically using a cell phone to film their escape from their
Oh my God. Why people can't put these phones down when they doing crimes, bro? You telling yourself, you snitch on yourself. But I guess it's funny as hell when you get caught. You can laugh back at it. I don't know what the fuck how they did this shit. They went through the air vent.
Detailed instructions. Prisons are designed.
These motherfuckers made a YouTube video how to break out of jail. Basically, that's what the hell they was doing.
To keep inmates in, not to give them easy ways to get out. After all, the key to success is executing a carefully detailed plan. Typically, you would think that installing air vents large enough for a man to squeeze through close to the floor would be a bad
They went through the air vent.
idea in a prison, but this was exactly how this trio gained access into the plumbing shafts behind the wall. They used ropes made out of bed sheets and had a getaway van waiting with fresh clothes and a bottle of Jack Daniels for a celebratory drink. It only took 8 minutes for 3 inmates to complete their complex plan, ironically using a cell phone to film their escape from their cell. These guys traded 15 minutes of fame for an extra 15 years behind.
But look, that 15 minutes of fame, man, they always gonna be known.
bars. Daring escape. They say that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Arrested at school for fighting, this teenager was left alone in an interrogation room for only 10 seconds before
For fighting? They was gonna let your ass right back out.
he threw caution to the wind and fearlessly jumped out of a 16-foot-high second-story window. He may just have
Head first to a 16. That boy just committed suicide. Head first.
rubber bones as he got straight back up after surviving.
Ooh, bruh. How? That must have been that motherfucking, what is it, adrenaline? You fall out, oh my God, nigga, I'd be hurt. I'd be on the ground like this. I can't do it. Ugh.
The fall and
He's
got out of
running.
there as
He
fast
ain't
as his
limping.
legs could carry him. The cop comes to check on him 14 minutes later, and you can clearly hear him saying a few choice words when he realizes what's happened. The boy was found
But I would never think of that too. I would never think a motherfucker jump from a fucking 12-story, 14-story fucking building. I wouldn't.
3 hours later at his friend's house. We can safely say that when
At his fucking friend house, really? The thing is, when motherfucker break out of jail, I don't think long term.
he turns 21, the only bars he'll be attending will be made of iron.
That nigga went to his homeboy
Through the
house.
window. The mind is a
He probably said to his homeboy, oh my God, bro, you won't believe me, bro. I just ran for them, bro. I just ran for them Jakes.
powerful thing. All you have to do is believe in yourself and commit. This inmate had a pretty simple plan. He was being processed in a detention center. One of his buddies would distract the guard while he made his getaway. When he saw an extremely small window, he thought think thin over and over in his head before taking a running leap, diving through the window. Once out
Oh, this is so funny, bro.
outside, he got into the getaway car his girlfriend was waiting in, and they were off like a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde. 26 days later, they were discovered living.
Hey, that's the longest somebody got away. It been 5 days, a day. That's the longest, 26 days.
In an abandoned house in the next state after an anonymous tip-off.
In the next state, bruh. That's the farthest somebody got away on this video. 26 days in another state. Them boy, that was in a bando.
Warden said
That's a rider. His girl a rider. That's what you want. Because she knew she got herself into. She knew she was going to jail. She got caught.
he's taking extra steps and putting locking mechanisms on the window, which should have been a no-brainer in a prison. Psst, hey, you still there? Well, since
Hey.
you made it this far, here are all the shout-outs we promised everyone.
I would just say, if I worked at a jail and I was a correctional officer, I wouldn't even try to stop a motherfucker. That's not my job. I was like, I don't get paid enough for this shit. Go ahead, run. But that's the end of the video. I thought this video was fucking hilarious. But like, comment, subscribe, man. Like the video. Get these videos on the recommendation list. Comment anything you want to react to. Subscribe so you can be a part of the family. We only getting bigger from here. Be learning every day. And that's the end of the video, man.